Hello, my name is Stuart Lane, and I am a junior at the Miami Valley School, and in my history class, we are reading The American Pageant. Thanks to David M. Kennedy, Elizabeth Cohen, and Thomas A. Bailey for writing it, so that I could actually have an experience and respond to it. Okay, Chapter 29, time period 1912 to 1916, Wilsonian Progressivism at Home and Abroad. Reading through the chapter, it wasn't till the end, till something really struck me, and then I flipped back through the whole thing, and it was all popping out and making sense. In one of the brown boxes at the bottom, there was a letter that Wilson sent to a pro-German, pro-Irish citizen, and he said, "Your telegraph received. I would feel deeply mortified to have you or anybody like you vote for me. Since you have access to many disloyal Americans, and I have not, I will ask you to convey this message to them." That is a statement that takes a lot of confidence in your ideas. Reading this and seeing how the president responded in this manner, it got me thinking about leadership. Now, earlier in the year in my history class, we took a StrengthsFinder test. It was StrengthsFinder 2.0 by Tom Rath, and I received command as a trait. Now, looking at that, there's sort of a guilty confusion and not understanding of how possibly I could represent the traits of command, because everybody's looking for a leader. Now, reading this chapter, a lot of things stuck out to me, and I believe it helped me think about this trait that I received and how I can move forward with it, and how people who led our country in the past moved forward with it in the past. Wilson was raised as the son of a minister, which gives him a really good moral law. And he also dedicated his time to the scholarly life. So his ideals and his beliefs were rooted in truth and trying to perfect the truth, trying to hone in on what really his beliefs were. For him, the truth for him, that is. And you can see this when he became the president, and actually, when he was the president of Princeton, everything he did was really progressive. Wilsonian progressivism. I get that now. Incredibly progressive. As the president of Princeton, he had a lot of education reform, and when he became president, he had the against the triple wall of, I want to say it's either luxury or something that's preventing people from doing something. That's the one thing that slipped my mind up until this point. But I knew it had to do with banking tariffs and one more point. My apologies. Still, it stood out to me how he had these three main focus points and then attacked them. First with presentation and then collaboration with the Congress. Being able to stand in front of them and stand behind his ideas that much. That was really cool. It led me to think, if you take a man with ideas and you give him a position of power and or where he can act upon his ideas and his beliefs, and then you make that position of power start to define him fundamentally, not define him, I take that back, so he fundamentally associates himself with the effects of what he does, then you have a leader. I believe at that point you have a man who can truly lead. I saw that with Wilson, although people did not side with him, and every once in a while the bull moose Roosevelt would shoot out of the darkness and try to run again for a third term. He did a fairly good job, I believe. Yeah. This chapter allowed me to really define some of the confusing things that were going on in my life. Thank you, and thank you for listening, that is. And thanks again to the authors.